morning, folks. This is John Pettipas doing a special YouTube production on the eve of our first anniversary on this blessed YouTube station. It's now 10:32 a.m. on Sunday morning, the 23rd day of August, 2020. Cousin May's 89th birthday. Women don't like their birthdays, so well, hello, Cousin May. Next year you're going to have a zero in your birthday. You'll be 90. So she was out. I spoke to this one before 8 o'clock, and she'd already be back from her walk. So she's a spry cat. I say May goes to 100. She's just a spry cat. No drinking, no cigarettes, no illicit drugs, and she's positive attitude and a good cook and just healthy lifestyle. She's going to be an old lady someday. She's only 89 years young today. Hello, May. Happy birthday to you again. Bye for now. Okay, next item. Here we have this morning a special YouTube video, and I'm going to title it, Send for Them. We Need More. Send for Them, we need more. First, I'm going to use 3 examples. Look at what? 3 examples. 3 examples. 1, 2, 3. Now, they take in 1, 2, 3. They take in. First one is the late wonderful Phillip Riteman, a Jewish gentleman. He was a survivor of a concentration camp in Nazi Germany. And a lot of countries didn't take Jewish people, which is wrong, it's tragic, and it's not right. But he had one living relative left, and I think their names were Cohen, even though his name is Riteman. Must have been his mother's side. So it must have been Cohen, his mother's maiden name, and of course Riteman was his father's name. The last surviving member of his family. They all perished in a concentration camp. Mother, father, sisters, brothers, everybody. But he had a relative in Newfoundland. I'm pretty certain name was Cohen. St. John's, Newfoundland, which was not Newfoundland, Canada. It was a colony of Britain then. Okay, and so they had a grocery store in downtown St. John's, Newfoundland, and he went there, and they applied for him to get in, and I think the title of the official there was called Governor of Newfoundland. And the Governor of Newfoundland said, heard circumstances of Philip's concentration camp survivor, no relatives left in the world except for this relative, the Cohens that had the grocery store, and his instructions were to his secretary officials, send for him. And whereas other places wouldn't take him, he went, this wonderful governor of Newfoundland at the time, he went, and I knew Philip Riteman. He used to come in the store, the carpet business. He later lived in Bedford, Nova Scotia, but traveled back to Newfoundland and so on. He actually had to immigrate from Newfoundland to Nova Scotia, Canada when he came over here. Anyway, only stayed in Newfoundland a couple of years after World War II and settled in Bedford and just died a couple of years ago. He was 90 plus. He was a remarkable man, remarkable gentleman. He used to go into schools in later years and discuss students what he went through. Anyway, the governor of Newfoundland had told his officials, secretary, send for him. And when he got to Newfoundland, they were having his ceremony. The governor of then the colony of Newfoundland went to his ceremony where he was welcomed in. That was very touching. That was extremely touching. Now, we look in Antigonish County. I'm in Antigonish County, and it's known as the Diocese of Antigonish, which includes beautiful Cape Breton Island, lovely Cape Breton Island, and Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. By the way, now I speak in Newfoundland, this is the Newfoundland flag. Fine folks, Newfoundland. There's something like Cape Bretonners and rural and small town Nova Scotians. Great folks, great people. The beautiful Newfoundland flag. We salute. All the best. Good morning to all my Newfoundland friends and subscribers, viewers, and all you Newfoundlanders, period. Now, the first bishop of the Diocese of, what's now the Diocese of Antigonish, it would have been Cape Breton Island and northeastern Nova Scotia. It was County Sydney in those days. It was Bishop William Fraser, and he's a ancestor. He's an ancestor of the saintly Highland Fraser from Fraser's Grant. And the bishop said to the Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia back in 1800s, we need people! Okay? And so the Lieutenant Governor, actually, I got it backwards. Lieutenant Governor said to the bishop, we need people! And Bishop William Fraser, the first bishop of this area, he held it together by horseback. No fancy, cushy, big expense accounts, this guy, fancy cars. He went on a horseback from one area to the other, from Mabu to West Coast of Newfoundland, West Coast of Cape Island, Guysborough County, Antigonish County, Richmond County, etc. He was a rugged guy. He was like Shane or Matt, or the guy you call him on Bonanza, okay? Carter, what was the guy's name? Carter, the guy that was chief on Ben Cartwright, that was his name. Anyway, back to the first bishop. The lieutenant governor said we need people. To which the Bishop William Fraser said, I have brothers. What did the lieutenant governor say to Bishop William Fraser? Send for them. I'll get them a grant of land. And that grant of land is Fraser's grant. Up the road here, you have in Heatherton, Blackavon, Fraser's grant. Actually, I believe it goes Heatherton, Fraser's grant, then Blackavon. So it's just outside Lovely Community, Heatherton, is Fraser's grant. That Fraser's grant was a grant of land granted by the then Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia to some of Holland Fraser's great ancestors. They would have been brothers of Bishop Fraser. So they were able to send for them. Now, we have our 13th wonderful Syrian family in Antigonish. I just learned this on Thursday morning. And the youngest son of that family is here with his wife and 4 children. And his mother is a widow now. She was married at a young age and had a very large family. And the son, Antigonish, I'm not certain what his name is, he is the youngest son, as I say, with his wife and 4 kids. And they spent 7 years in a refugee camp in Jordan. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 years he spent. 7 years they spent in a refugee camp. They lived in a tent. Like an army tent. They lived in a tent, and as the family started to grow, they got some pallets. People, I say, are very resourceful. They got some pallets, like a makeshift 2x4 framing for a wall, some sheets of plywood they salvaged somewhere, and put up. Keep the dust out. Keeping the dust out is a big concern of those hot, dry areas. And for the roof, no fancy roof. It wasn't slate, or it wasn't tile, or it wasn't a steel roof. It actually was steel. It wasn't a fancy asphalt roof with underlay. It was pieces of metal. Pieces of metal I got somewheres. Pieces of metal, and there was some holes in it, so they doubled it up. Hopefully it wouldn't rain. So they lived. Can you imagine again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 years in a refugee camp. And they came here. And if we have the King James Version of the Bible here. And the Bible is one of the verses, one of the readings of the Bible. The Bible says, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, give a cup of water to the thirsty. And one answers back to the Lord, when Lord have we fed the hungry, clothed the naked, or gave a glass of water to the thirsty? And he said back to them, when you do it to the least among us, you do it to me. And the Lord said back to, in this particular parable in the Bible, when you do it to the least among us, you do it to me. So kindness, generosity, food, clothing, shelter. It reminds me, a few weeks ago I mentioned shout out to the wonderful Syrian families. And one gentleman I met Yasser and some of his family so far. They're wonderful. Howdy. Somebody's going by too. Howdy. Good morning. Hopefully the subscriber. Anyway, what it will be. I introduced him to somebody, the oldest son in a farming family, and then when he got introduced to them, he said, I love Nova Scotia. This gentleman loves Nova Scotia. He said it's safe. I introduced him to the oldest son's father. He was glad to meet the gentleman, the co-proprietor, founder of the farm. He said it's safe, because they were immigrants too one time, just came from Holland. The Yasser's family come from Syria. Okay. They take and then he met another one of the men on the farm, and again he said safe. So they said safe. How many of our people will say it's safe? They appreciated the safety of Nova Scotia compared to what they knew when war-torn Civil War ravaged Syria, and so it's safe. Okay, it's a drive these people have. I just love, is there Libyan or Syrian or Palestinian, the drive, the determination. You wouldn't be human if you didn't love these people. So like Phillip Riteman, they said, then the governor of Newfoundland said, send for him, and he went to swear it in. Like almost 200 years ago now, approximately 200 years ago, Bishop William Fraser was told by the Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia, we need people. He said, I have brothers. The Lieutenant Governor said, send for them, I'll get them a grant of land. Just like we have 12 wonderful Syrian families in Antigonish, and every one of them is, I don't know them all, I know some of them, resourceful. They're just very entrepreneurial, resourceful people. And now the newest family, okay, and they not only will make, they are making fine citizens. And all I can say, send for more. In 200 years, the story hasn't changed. We need people. We need people. And they're young families, and they're so happy to be here. And again, I repeat, they have drive and determination. God, you got to love these people. With that, I got to go. It's Sunday morning. It's fine to go to church. Great to go to church, get the sacraments, all fine and dandy. See some familiar faces, newer faces, whatever. But ultimately, the Bible should be the Bible or the Quran or the Torah, whatever your faith is, to be Muslim or Jewish or the Christian religions that go back to the Bible. This is the King James Version of the Bible. It's inspired Word of God. Now, they take in, when you help refugees, you're not only helping them, you're helping Nova Scotia. We need people. They are helping us. Like somebody gives you something, you say, thank you, and I say, no, me to say thank you to you. So with that, I got to go. It's John Pettipas. It's almost 11:15 in the morning now on Sunday morning, the 23rd day of August. And I want to wish all of you wonderful folks out there in YouTube land, spread the word. Tell people about this channel. Tell people about the videos on what you call those computer machines, the internet, over your smartphone, in the farm fields, on your fishing boat, out in the forestry, factory floor, bingo, card play, darts, golf course, wherever, out jogging or walking this morning. Tell the folks about the channel. More subscribers, the merrier. And the more new residents to Nova Scotia, the merrier. With that, I got to go. It's John Pettipas wishing all you wonderful folks all the best. And God bless. Thank you very much now. Have a good Sunday. Bye for now.